More often than not, it can be easy to spot those struggling in life. But it can be just as easy to miss those in need in the suburbs. In Melbourne's outer north, single mum Michelle and daughter Jess are facing a battle for survival.
Listen to Pumpkin.
Their once comfortable lives have been turned upside down by daughter Jess's deteriorating medical condition.
Here's your lunch.
And now every day is a struggle, both financially and physically.
Mum, that's a cool doll's house. Look at that.
21-year-old Jess lives with autism and has a mild intellectual disability.
Star Wars, Chewbacca.
She also suffers from an incredibly rare disease called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome type 6.
What basically EDS is all my collagen is faulty. Without collagen, you fall apart. And there's no cure for it.
EDS is a devastating disease that dominates both her and mum Michelle's lives.
The other day, I was washing my hair and 3 times my shoulder dislocated and I had to call out to Mum to help me put it back in.
It's because of this need for full-time care that Michelle had to quit her job as a pharmacy assistant 3 years ago. That means she's now joined a quarter of those Australian carers on benefits who live below the poverty line.
Jessica's on full disability pension now and I'm on the carer's pension. And of course, you know, I lost a lot of money from not working anymore and everything is so expensive. We can't afford this, that and the other anymore. You all right?
Yeah, my back's sore.
So, you know, our life's changed in that sort of way. But at the same time, we've got each other and that's the main thing, you know. And you just get on with life, really.
But their daily struggles don't mean they can't take pride in their home. It's a treasure trove of bargain buys and belongings from better days, back when Michelle used to work.
You know, we know that if we go to Kmart or whatever, it's still going to cost too much money. Let's go to an op shop, you know? And even if we don't buy anything, it is so cool just to look around because we don't feel like we're missing out then. I've got some really nice things. You still get to go shopping, but this is even better shopping because you just don't know what you're going to find there on that day. So it's great fun. We have a great time.
It's a piggy bank. Most of the stuff we got is from here, like from the op shops and stuff. Like our dining table, for example. That's op shop. A dining chair, the op shop. You save a lot of money. Things that look brand new are bargains. Good shopping. Oh, boom. From Monsters Inc.
I think it's important to look presentable, you know, because I've been brought up that way. So it might be all gathered, I don't know what's happening at the back, but...
That looks alright.
And that's, how much is that going to cost?
$1.
Can't go wrong. If you don't exchange your mind, you can always donate it again. It's only $1.
That's true.
It's only $1.
$11.30.
Wow, that's good. With bills, it's a whole different level. You know, well, we got a medical bill a couple of days ago. It's $275. And I've got to try and find that money now. That's much harder than worrying about trying to find a couple of dollars for some clothes.
Not everything is covered by Medicare, and the bills will only increase as Jess's condition deteriorates.
But I wish I could afford things that Jessica's going to need straight out. That frustrates me. It just gets me down sometimes when I just feel like I fail, like I'm a failed parent.
Fall back on. That's unless you're Jess, because sometimes even the safety net can't catch you.
The doctors, as soon as you say I got EDS type 6, they've heard a little bit about it, but they don't want to touch me because they're like, well, unless you got private health insurance, sorry, but we're not going to risk anything.
When she had her cameras inside to try and find out what was going on there, her lungs collapsed and she nearly died. And he said, look, we had a lot of trouble keeping her alive. So he said, unfortunately, he said, she won't be able to go under any more anaesthetic because she will die.
My GP's like, I want to help you, but there is no help here.
The specialist treatment she needs is 17,000 kilometres away, in Baltimore, in the US.
I spoke to them and I emailed them and they're like, yes, we're happy to take you into our clinic and everything. And they're all ready to book me in for an appointment. I'm like, oh, whoa, I haven't even got any like funding yet to be able to do that.
Jessica said, Mum, we've got to get to Baltimore. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, we'll go. I wish I could just pop her in a plane and let's go, you know. But this is why we've got the GoFundMe and trying to see if we can get some money to go to Baltimore, because we're going to have to probably go for a few months.
And so far, it's slow, but slow is better than nothing. That's the way I see it. It's better than not having no fundraising at all.
How much money are we talking?
About 30 grand. 30 grand or more. We've raised $140 in 2 months from 6 people, which is good. It's a good start. We need to get there a bit more.
With little money for life's pleasures and Jess's deteriorating medical condition, it means more often than not, Mum and daughter are stuck at home.
You all right, Jess?
I'm frustrated and bored.
Why are you frustrated for?
Because, Mum,
Why, darling, tell me.
everything.
Oh, you're having a bad day.
Yeah. Like, since Mum had to leave her job, it's been, like, really, really hard. But it's been good in a way because I get to spend more time with Mum.
Hello, darling. Go and hug Jessica. Go on. Yeah, you can.
She loves me a lot. And I'm forever grateful for every day that she's home with me. Because I don't know how I'd be if she wasn't.
Look, I'm not strong all the time. I mean, I certainly cry, especially a lot at night time, you know, and, you know, thinking about what's going to happen and it's just, it's horrible. Her lifespan isn't very long, and we're looking at a prepaid funeral now because I thought, I don't know when the time's going to come, and when it happens, I want to be able to go, you know what, I'm really glad that the funeral's in place. It's something that unfortunately I can't stop thinking about. Sorry. You know, about burying your child before yourself, you know. And she's so young and hasn't had a life, you know. She's only 21 and she's got no friends and, you know, it's just hard for her. But, you know, it's, you know, the thought of losing her is just, it's unbearable, you know.
In Melbourne's outer north, Jess's condition will soon deteriorate to such an extent she'll need a wheelchair.
Please come in. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
The right kind of wheelchair is not going to be cheap, so the first step is a visit from Victoria's Occupational Health Services.
So the wheelchair, what are the aims of the wheelchair?
So I can be a bit more independent because some days I can't even get out of bed because I'm so sore and there's things I want to go do but I can't.
So it's the pain that's stopping you with your mobility?
The pain and to go shopping and stuff and do things that normal people do.
Yeah. We've got the chairs here and Ryan's right there. We may as well just go in and have a look at what they're going to be like.
So this one is called the regular standard wheels and this one is the transit ones.
So that's for Mum to push you in, and that's for you to
right.
push yourself, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
The wheelchair occupational health believes Jess will eventually need costs $3,000, only $1,000 of which is covered by the government.
Really?
How long would it be till I really be able to get the wheelchair?
Would you be able to fund your own wheelchair?
There's no possible way.
It's a financial hardship.
Yeah.
Then we can go through the funding groups that are out there. There is a wait list for that to be approved, and you could be waiting 12, 18 months for your wheelchair to become available to you.
Bit disheartening, hey, Jess? Yeah. I can see she's a bit upset. Yeah.
But you're doing well, though. You're getting on with things, which is good.
I'm
It
trying.
hasn't stopped you.
No, I try not to let it.
It hasn't
Sometimes,
stopped you.
sometimes it gets real hard, and it's so painful because I'm in pain every day because literally your whole skeleton feels like knives stabbing into you.
Yeah. A day at a time.
Yeah.
Day at a time.
Yeah, that's all I always ever hear anyway. A day at a time.
It's nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you as well. Like it all.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
See you, Jessica.
Bye. They're the sort of appointments I have every single week. That intensity, and it's just like, bam, especially at doctor's appointments, and you're like, okay, so now you got this wrong with you. Congratulations, let's work on that.